Yo, let me tell you how I sold these hats right here. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Big Brando, and today I'm gonna be talking about the marketing strategy and the idea behind selling these two hats right here. Now, let me start by saying my marketing strategy was 100% free. I didn't pay for ads. I didn't pay to boost my posts. It was done 1000% for free through social media, and I'm gonna talk about how I did it. Now, this is just what worked for myself. You guys could try this out for yourself and see if it works for you. But for myself, I've seen 100% success using this strategy right here. And it's the main reason why we sold out of this hat when we launched it. Now, back in July, I vended at a Hawaiian festival that I vend at every single year. And that was the exact place that I launched this hat. That's the release. That's where I sold it. That's where people seen it. That's how people bought it. And since then, I made a few to sell for special orders, but I haven't released it in store yet or put it up on my online store because that was all part of the strategy. So let's get into it. So I vended at that Hawaiian festival third weekend of July, but I created this hat back in like May. So what I did first was I created this LA logo without any of these brown patterns right here. It was just this LA logo in May. The idea was always to drop this hat, but I needed to drop the logo first just to see if it would work. Once I dropped this hat, the original script logo, it did good. I did it in Dodger blue, I did it in black, I did it in a few other colors, and it worked out well. And then for this Filipino festival, I dropped a hat a little late for that festival, but it had the Filipino stars like on the flag around this logo right here. All the while, I already had this one already done. This was already created. The whole idea to release this logo was to release this exact hat right here. So strategically, what I did through the month of June was I would just wear this hat in a lot of my Instagram stories. If you looked at my Instagram, Big Brando TV, you'll only see one post of this hat when I said I'm gonna launch it at the festival, and that was it. That's the only time that I actually promoted this hat in a post saying, hey, look at this hat, I'm gonna be releasing it on this day, this is where you could buy it. But leading up to that one post, what I was doing was I was wearing this in a lot of my stories. At this time, I was doing a lot of beer posts and a lot of food posts. I was posting on my story of things I was eating. I would put the hat on the table in the background. I would post the beers that I was drinking and I would put the hat in the background of the beers, or me wearing the hat, drinking the beer, me wearing the hat, eating the food, me wearing the hat in front of restaurants. What I was doing was I was using food and beer as the driving force to promote this hat. So all of the month of June is when I'm posting this hat subtly in the background of things and not saying, hey, buy the hat here, this is where you could buy this hat. I wasn't doing anything like that. I was only showing the hat, but not talking about the hat. This created the buzz, this created the demand, this created the attention around the hat. One, the food posts I was posting, people were sharing them. The beer posts, a lot of the breweries that I was tagging in the beers that I was drinking was reposting, and since they're reposting the beer, the hat's in the background. Some of the restaurants that I was eating at, when they reposted my videos or reposted what I was eating, the hat's in the background. So the hat is starting to float around to all of these different people, not based on the hat, but based on the content in the post. So I'm eating food. Let's say I was eating at a Mexican spot and I take a picture of my food or a short video clip of my food. This hat is in the background. The plate's here, the hat's in the background. I tag the restaurant to say, hey, I'm eating here. So that way the restaurant reposted to their story, and instead of just posting whatever I was eating, now they're reposting the hat without even knowing that they're reposting the hat. So I was very intentional with the restaurants and breweries that I was actually going after, because I was gonna release this hat at a Hawaiian festival that was gonna be local here to the South Bay. It was in Lawndale, California. I needed to make sure that I was eating at local South Bay restaurants that were gonna repost the food or the beer and the hat, because I needed the people that go to those restaurants and to those breweries that are local to the area to go to the Hawaiian festival to buy this hat. So it wouldn't work if I was posting stuff that was like out of state and stuff like that, because the idea was to launch the hat at the festival, have people come to the festival to buy the hat. So it wouldn't have made sense if I was out promoting this to a lot of out of state breweries and restaurants and stuff like that, because if they repost it, it's cool, it's gonna get seen, but if I'm not selling it online, it didn't make sense for this hat to get circulated that way with no way of buying it. So the idea was for people to come to the festival and buy it in person. So I made sure I ate at a lot of local Hawaiian restaurants because obviously this hat would speak to somebody like that. And I utilized the popularity behind food posts and beer posts and people sharing that type of information to sell this hat right here. I tried it out in the winter time when I was selling hoodies and it worked. So I said, let me see if I could get people to come to this festival to buy this hat and not shop online. And that's exactly what we did. So leading up to the big post of, hey, I'm selling this hat at this festival, I tagged the festival in that post, and then I started dropping stories every single day of this hat. I'm wearing the hat, product photos of the hat, video clips of me making the hat, all of that stuff around it the week of the actual event. So now that the hat is freshly burned in people's brains, people been seeing it for the last month and a week or so. It's familiar to them. Everybody that sent me a DM saying, hey, where can I buy that hat, now has a destination to go and buy that hat. So instead of just promoting the festival saying, hey, come and buy this hat, come and buy this hat, what I started doing was promoting the festival to come out because it was a free festival. I encouraged people to come out and check out the entertainment, check out the food that was going to be there. I constantly promoted the festival with having hundreds of vendors out there. I constantly promoted other vendors that were going to be there so they could repost. Majority of what I was talking about those 2 weeks leading up to the festival was the festival. Not, hey, come and buy this shirt or buy this hat or buy this from me. It was always just about promoting the festival. Because if it was like a selly thing where I was just like, hey, come out and buy this hat from me every single day, people would get burnt out from hearing the same thing from me. So instead, what I started doing was explaining how much fun the festival could be and would be. I started explaining the experience of what they would actually see at the festival. I made it more about attending the festival than actually coming out to buy the hats. And once again, this was strategically done because I understand if I'm out here saying, hey, come and buy this hat, buy this hat, buy this hat, people will start tuning me out because nobody wants to keep being sold something. So I put up the post, hey, the hat's gonna be available here. The video does pretty good. I'm in a bunch of stories wearing the hat. When I'm talking about the festival, I'm wearing the hat, but I'm no longer selling the hat. All I'm selling is the actual festival. Hey, it's a free festival. Here's the hours. Get here early. Parking's gonna be like this. I'm giving people an idea of what the festival's gonna be like because I want them to attend. I want them to buy the hat, but at the same exact time, I understand that nobody wants to be sold something every single day. So in order to keep my posting and my content fresh for the new viewer, I was talking about the festival that whole week or week and a half leading up to the festival. But strategically speaking, this hat was always in those posts when I'm talking about it. I'm not saying come and buy this hat. I'm just wearing it so people start sharing, hey, he's talking about this festival, we should go. This is what I'm thinking is a husband or a wife is gonna see that post and then they're gonna send it to their spouse and be like, yo, this thing's going down in Lawndale, we should go check it out. And then every day I'm posting new information about the festival, the type of food that's gonna be there, the type of entertainment that's gonna be there, all the different vendors that are gonna be there, what the weather's like, all types of useful information around the festival. One, it gets people to go to the festival. Two, people are gonna see that I'm there selling this hat at the festival. Then when they're walking by, like, oh shit, that's the hat I've been seeing, I wanna buy one. Bingo. We sell out of this one and we sell out of this one the very first day. The festival was for the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday afternoon, these were basically gone. And I made a shitload of them and we brought them and the shit just worked. Now, there's no like real science behind the strategy that I use. There's no like, oh, I did this because of this. I was doing things strategically, but at the same exact time, I was taking a wild guess. All I do when I do my marketing strategies or how I promote products or what I'm thinking is what do I react to as a customer? What don't I like and what do I like? I'm not gonna do anything that I don't like seeing myself. So that's why I don't overly sell everything. Anytime I see posts of people always trying to sell something, I tune them out. And I'm like, yeah, I don't wanna be sold nothing today. And I ignore the post. But if somebody's giving me some kind of information and I use the information of food and beer that whole month leading up to the festival, so then that way all of those videos and stories and stuff I was doing can get shared to other people because I just wanted to provide some sort of information for the people, if that makes any sense. At the time, I'm not selling the hat, I'm just promoting the hat. I'm showing the hat, but I'm not talking about it. I'm only talking about the food or the restaurant I'm at or the beer I'm drinking or the brewery I'm at. This was part of the plan because I react to that. If somebody's putting me up on a new restaurant, I'm gonna send it to my wife and be like, yo, let's go check this place out. Or if somebody's talking about some new brewery or new beer coming out, I'm gonna send it to the homies like, yo, let's go check this spot out. That's what I react to. So that's what I'm creating, is the stuff that I react to. What I'm also doing is just figuring out product placement. That's all it is. I know these videos are gonna get shared. Let me figure out a way to put my product into the video that's gonna get shared so people can see it. Even though I'm not talking about it, people will see it. This is 100% how I sold that hat, how we sold them out at the festival, how we built up the demand at the festival for this hat, and all of the attention that came with those hats 100% was driven through social media. Mainly a little bit of TikTok, but mainly Instagram. And it was because people shared the information, they shared the post that I was making that had the hat in there, and people just seen the hat, but they weren't being sold the hat. I hope this video right here makes some sense to somebody. You can go back and you can look at my Instagram, Big Brando TV, and you can see where I started showing the script hat and talking about the script hat, and then how I led up to it. A lot of the stories that I posted were long gone, but if you're not utilizing your stories, if you're just reposting shit on your stories, that's cool, but creating content for stories, it's kind of like doing like mini vlogs, but those things get shared and those things get seen a lot. So that's how I basically ran the whole campaign to sell this hat. Now that I have a bunch of people hitting me up like, yo, when's that hat gonna drop? Or are you ever gonna restock that hat? I know the demand's there, so now I could start stocking the store with the hats, put them online so I could start selling the hats. But I let everything run its course. I didn't try to rush anything. I just did what it did. So if you're thinking about launching products, or if you're thinking about different ways of marketing your product or advertising or promotion or whatever you want to call it, I would say utilize social media, but utilize social media in the sense of create things that you like watching, create things that you react to, and stay away from the things that you hate seeing on social media. Don't add to the nonsense. Like if you're ignoring posts, don't create posts that you would ignore. Create posts that you would share. That's exactly what I do. That's how I do it. Hopefully this video, like I said, helps somebody out there, or opened the eyes to somebody out there to start rethinking how they promote stuff and how they market their stuff. Sometimes it takes a little bit of thought and a lot of bit of creativity to get the ball rolling. If you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, please feel free to leave it in the comments for me. You can follow me on Instagram if you wanted to, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.